please let us know in the chat if you'd like to ask a question. We'll start with Daniela Bruce.
Hey, Dylan, just one quick one from me. We just talked to Coach Lalone, and he said that your relationship with him is vitally important to the team's success. Can you just describe the relationship that you've been able to build with him leading up to camp?
Yeah, I think, it's obviously just got to know him there for the first couple conversations we've had after he was hired, and closer to camp, we've had many more conversations about our team and the way he wants us to play, and what I think our identity could be. So there's been great communication, and he's very organized. He's very he believes in what he's preaching, which I think is great. Walking into a new locker room, and he's made a great impression on the guys. So we just try and communicate, be honest with each other, and work together to help the guys.
I know it's only been a short sample size, just one day of practice here at camp, but how do you feel the systems that he wants to put in, the things he believes are being implemented early on?
Yeah, it's very impressive. Obviously, he's coming from Tampa, so it's a lot of things that they've done, and it's kind of eye-opening. Obviously, we play against them quite a bit, but and they're always very difficult nights. So it's eye-opening how the simplicity and how organized it is, and I was very, very impressed with some of the things he introduced today.
Thank you, Dylan, and congratulations on the engagement this summer too.
Thank you.
Max Boltman.
Hey, Dylan, could you just talk a little bit about kind of the energy that comes with, a new coaching staff, and obviously, you've been a veteran for a while, but a little bit of a new, fresh start here for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I was a little nervous today getting on the ice, and something new, and your first time or your first day to make a fresh impression and a first impression, excuse me. And I think that's so important for everyone on our team and new guys as well. It kind of evens the playing field, and it's going to be a very competitive camp, but you get a clean slate and a new opportunity to impress a new staff. So you got to capitalize on it and be ready for that.
Anything in particular when you talked about the things that really impressed you starting today? I know it sounds like a lot of his message has been about kind of the team defense.
Yeah, team defense. We focused a lot on that today. I think I was very impressed how it starts in the neutral zone and even in the offensive zone for him, how we track the puck and how organized we are in the neutral zone, where it makes teams have to chip it in. And then, the first part of practice there, we worked on breakouts and how simple that is. And everyone knows when certain situations happen, what's going to happen with the puck, and we're all on the same page. Just how organized he was at that, how clear the message was. I think it's going to be huge for our team to be that organized and to have everyone's on the same page.
And last thing for me, we got to kind of see Elmer Soderblom in the cross ice 3-on-3 working behind the net. What are your impressions of him and how he moves and handles the puck at that?
Yeah, I think first impressions, how big he is. He's a couple heads taller than everyone else, but like you said, his hands and how he uses his body, he moves well for a pretty big guy. So it's an asset that he has, and he uses it very well.
Thanks, Don.
Yep.
John Neo.
Hey, Dylan, you referenced it earlier. I guess, what do you think the identity of this team can be?
Well, I think it's something that we have so many new guys, John. I think with a new coaching staff, I really believe it's got to develop naturally. And we're day one of camp. You look at the roster on paper. That's about all we've been able to do for the last 3 or 4 months. We just had one practice. So I think it's got to evolve. I think we have to be a team that's hungry. We can't look at our roster and the acquisitions we had this summer and think that we're going to make the playoffs or think that we're a great team, because we haven't proved anything. We're going to go out and prove it. We're going to have to be ready every night. I think we're in the toughest division in the NHL. So we're going to have to prove it. We're going to have to be on our toes, play fast, be very hard to play against. Those are very cliche, but they're real things, and you know, there's going to be other you know, qualities and things that we have to bring that will form into our identity as we go along here.
And then I think you referenced or talked about this out in Vegas a little bit, but how confident are you that you can get a new deal done here? How important is that to you to get that done maybe before the season even?
Well, I think, you know, I think it's very important to get it done before next season. You know, so I could play hockey, but you know, I don't have any updates for you guys. I don't see myself playing anywhere else. I've already said that out in Vegas. So, you know, I think it's just great to be back on the ice. Great to be back in Traverse City with the guys, so I can you know, focus on our team and the guys on the team.
And then last one for me, I mean, post surgery, when were you sort of full go? Like, how long have you been back?
You know what, I think the timing of the surgery with, I think 11 games left there, it was a difficult decision, but it was something where we kind of mapped it out where I could have a full summer, and I think you know, was back in the gym right away. Was back on the ice 8 weeks after, and you know, just a great feeling, not skating around with pain. So it was difficult to miss the last little bit of the season, but it was something where you know, we sat down and talked with the doctors and the management about having a healthy summer where you know, I could be ready to go for today, and I feel great.
Ansar Khan.
Yeah, hi, Dylan. You're talking about your contract situation. Is that something that you can easily just put in the back of your mind and not let it be a distraction once the season starts?
Yeah, you get so caught up in the daily grind, the games, practices, recovery, preparation for the next game. So something that I take very serious is how I recover, how I prepare. And, you know, I get, that's pretty much all I do all season is, you know, play, practice, recover, and prepare for the next game. So that's my routine. And, you know, I've kind of found what works for me the last couple of years. So I plan on sticking to that and you know, playing out there for the fans and my teammates.
And how much, when you saw the moves that they made in the off season, you know, a much deeper team, just how much did your enthusiasm perk up, and just how much of a leap do you think this team can make this year?
Well, yes, I was excited, but you know, after that initial excitement kind of wore off, you look at the team, you get excited on paper, but you know, I've said it and I've talked to Derek about it, is you know, we haven't, you know, done anything yet as a group. So there should be no reason to look too far ahead. We have to go out, we have to have a great camp here, new systems, new coaching staff, like we've already talked about. We have to all get on the same page pretty quick here and be full go for October 14th.
Thanks, Dylan.
Thank you.
Bob Duff.
Yeah, Dylan, I'm just wondering, this is the first time you've gone through a coaching change as a pro, and on top of that, you're the captain, who's kind of seen as the liaison between the players and coaching and management. So what did you see as your role in this whole transition? And I know Derek said he thinks that your relationship with him is vital. How has that kind of evolved over the summer for you?
You're asking about my
just like
relationship with him?
transition as a captain. What is the first time you've gone through this as a captain? You know, you're kind of the leader of the team. So what did you see as your role, if any at all, in the transition to the new coach?
I just think communication and being honest. You know, he's going to introduce new things, and you know, if we're not picking up on it right away and guys are confused, you know, I think Derek wants relationships with his players where guys can talk to him about that. But, you know, if I feel something, you know, needs to be addressed, I feel confident going to talk to him and you know, trying to, you know, push this thing in the right way, you know, with him. And I think, you know, the more we do that, we get everyone on board to playing how we want to play, and it's going to, you know, help our team.
Hey, thanks.
Helene St. James.
Hi, Dylan. Just give me your early impressions of David Perron and what he can do for this team.
Yeah, mate. I think obviously I've known a lot about him, and I could go for a lot of guys that we've acquired. I don't necessarily like playing against them. I've played against David for all 7 of my NHL years, and he's very hard to play against. He's a gamer. I've noticed that in practice and in summer skates. He's been back in town. He's been in town for a little bit. He's a gamer, and he's very skilled. He wants the puck on his stick. I think he's going to be great for our young players. Someone that's won in this league and produced at a high level for a long time. So he brings it every day. And what he did in the playoffs last year, I watched pretty closely. I didn't know that we were going to sign him, but what he did in the playoffs last year was very impressive. And that just speaks to how much of a gamer he is.
And I know lines can always change, and it's just the first day of camp, but potentially it looks like he and Jakob Vrana could be on a line together. Just how huge would that be to have a scoring line like that, to take a bit of pressure off you and Tyler and Lucas, and just have that kind of, second scoring line?
Yeah, it would, it's great. Just how our depth in general, I think we've really focused on that, and those guys are both very dangerous players. They're both snipers, and David's a great playmaker. So I think he's going to learn pretty quick to that. V just needs a couple shots a game, and there's pretty good chances on that. So we'll see how the chemistry builds, but it's just great that we have 2 or 3 lines that can really put the puck in the net.
Lighthearted question here at the end. When did you first hear Derek being referred to as Newsy, and did you know what the reference was?
I do not still know what the reference is. But the first conversation, he called me, he's like, "Hey, this is Newsy." And I was like, who? So, it's kind of something that stuck a long time ago, and it's his name now. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Jonathan Mills.
Hey, Dylan. Every player we've talked to, including yourself and Derek, has really brought up the importance of team chemistry. As a captain, how much responsibility do you put on yourself to be a part of the group that upholds and kind of maintains that throughout the season?
Yeah, I take it very serious. I think it's very important, and in my belief of getting the wives and girlfriends together, getting on a good page with the coaching staff, it's important, and it's something I take a lot of pride in. I try and bring everyone together, and I need a lot of help. Robbie Fabry and David Perron and Andrew Kopp, Tyler Bertuzzi, guys like that. You lean a lot on, and they do a great job as well. So, yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
George Malik.
Hi, Dylan. We talked to Coach Lalone about this, and I was wondering how you feel that the timeline goes for digesting all the information that he's going to present to you over the next couple of days. Obviously, you're going to try and get everything down before the red versus white game on Sunday, but there's also the exhibition season in, and Coach Lalone said that it was very important to get those reps in.
Absolutely, it is. I think it's something that we've talked about. It's going to take some time. You're a professional athlete. You digest things pretty quick. You kind of put them in, but we want to be muscle memory, and that's going to take some time. We're going to probably have some long video sessions throughout the preseason and exhibition games, and trying to get it all situated so we're all on the same page come opening night. And I expect us to be there by opening night.
Regarding one of the other Swedish rookies, I was wondering what you think about Simon Edvinsson and his what really looks like effortless skating from a guy who's 6'6".
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's got a long stick. I think I'm excited to see how he does in the preseason and against other NHL teams. and, see how it goes, right? It all seems like all these young players come in now, they're all very skilled. They can all skate, and, just how they perform, in games and against other high-end players.
And last one for me, were you able to get your stick issues sorted out this summer? Because I know you were using a couple different brands last year. Did you get your CCMs?
I think so. Yeah, I hope so. We'll see. I think I don't like to switch back and forth, but I don't have a contract with any company, so I can kind of use whatever feels good.
Last question, Art Regner.
Hi, Dylan. I'm kind of curious. I know you've said in the past that it doesn't matter who has a letter on their sweater. However, you're going to have 2 new alternate captains this year. Will this be a process that you will be part of? And would you like to be part of that process to find out who's going to be sharing letters with you this year?
You know what? I think it's something that is these young players coming in. It's a storyline of camp, and I think it's something that with it as well with the new coaching staff, you're gonna have to give guys opportunities to prove themselves. Obviously, there's some factors with your past and what you've done in the league, what your status is, but there's opportunity there, and I think I'm kind of looking towards guys to help and I have my guys. I think that will be that, but we'll see how it goes through this preseason.
For years now, we've heard that the Red Wings have to be a better defensive club. From your standpoint, how do you become a better defensive club? Obviously, I know it's a 5-man mindset when you're out there, but why hasn't that transition occurred yet?
Well, I think I've talked about it before. I think with the systems that Derek has introduced, and with how simple it is, but effective, how it's proven. I could already see the buy-in, the guys kind of talking about it after practice, that they really like it, and how simple it is, how we feel we'll have the puck more. And that's defense in itself, is having the puck and doing the right things with the puck. But I really believe, how he, sets up his neutral zone and how he wants us to play through the neutral zone is going to make it really hard on teams where, in the past, I feel they've come at us in 3 lanes, and we haven't really been able to stop them in the neutral zone. So I believe that'll help a lot. And when we get to the puck for our breakouts, we're all on the same page.
And finally, Dylan, my final question, and that's in regards to when you look at this team, and you're in a unique position because you made the Red Wings as a teenager. You have some very young players who are in their second year in Mo Sider and obviously Lucas Raymond. Can you offer them maybe a perspective, because what they're going to experience in their quote unquote sophomore season and what some of these young guys are going through, you've actually been there. Do you think that it's a bit of an advantage, the career path that you've taken when you are mentoring younger players?
Absolutely. I think I struggled my second year. I played on the 4th line for a majority of that year, and kind of started this time, kind of lost my spot to some veteran players, and those guys don't want that to happen. So they're, I think, more talented and skilled than I was at that age, but and they're big parts of this team. So I kind of talked to him at the end of last year to come in prepared, and especially Lucas to come in and really solidify that he's not even just a top player on our team. He's taking a step to be a top player in this league.
Thank you very much, Dylan. Appreciate your time.
Yeah. Thank you, guys.
That's all for us today. Thanks everyone for joining us.